Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry episode 2. So last time, happy Halloween. It happened right in the chapel. 6 people with a lot of candies, a lot of sweets inside their stomach, right? Beatrice is winning right now. The witch is winning. So let's continue and let's see what happens today. So we're with Canon here and he followed Jessica because Jessica ran away, right? And Goda is also here.
それにベアトリーチェ様は親方様の大切な賓客です。
だからなんだってんだ。本人の胸ぐらひねり上げてやれば白状するに決まってるぜ。目を見ればわかるんだよ。私が見破ってやる。何が魔女だ、ベアトリーチェだ。化けの皮を剥いでやる。
Jessica never stopped moving. Goda and Kanon chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinzo wouldn't let them in there. And yet the servants were always made to clean this room so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room after their second shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too. I mean, Jessica is living technically in this mansion as well. And she couldn't forgive the arrogance of the one who called herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch? To Jessica, she was just nothing more or less than a murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses, make her splutter in pain, gasp in anguish. You know what I want to see? Yeah, I just realized this, or I just thought of it, I mean. Let's do it opposite, right? Opposite, for example, next time. In the first Twilight, it's gonna be the kids instead, right? That would be nice to see though. Different style, right? So who else? Let's say Jessica, George, Butler, Maria, Kanon, and Shannon. For example, they're the first one to die in the first Twilight. That would be so interesting to see, right? Everyone else is alive, right? The older folks are alive, but all the younger folks would be dead. I want to see something like that. Yeah, maybe one of the chapters, but most likely not because of how big of a character Butler is in Maria as well, right? I mean, pretty much in at least these 2 episodes, they're always a focus, right? Yeah, so I doubt that would happen. That would be a nice concept though. No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch, I'll teach her that she's just a stinking sweaty human. As Jessica yelled with all her strength, she hit the door to the VIP room. It definitely wasn't a knock. That sound was the beating of her anger's hammer, as she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't open. There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation. She turned around to look at the 2 servants and spoke.
ここマスターキーで開くんでしょ。開けて。
お嬢様、それは大変な失礼にあたります。
What do you mean master key? I mean rude. What do you mean rude, Goda? People are dead. We need to find out what is happening. Although Goda was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head silently for a while, Canon pulled a master key from his jacket pocket.
カノンさん、いいんですか？
もしおられたなら、無礼になるのは承知です。それに、もしベアトリーチェ様が何の関係もないというなら、それを僕たちに釈明して納得させればいい。
Goda hasn't seen Beatrice, I think, right? Yeah, at least we don't have any scenes between Goda and Beatrice. Only yeah. Shannon, Kanon, Genji. Did Chio see her? I don't know. I don't remember a scene there. But yeah, Goda hasn't seen her technically.
そうだぜ、その通りだ。
Sonotori.
借りるぜ。
Jessica snatched the master key from Kanon's hand and violently shoved it into the keyhole. Immediately, there was a small sound and she felt the lock click. Then, without asking permission, she flung the door open.
ベアトリーチェ！どこだ？出てこい！
Jessica rudely stepped into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to be seen.
くそったれ！いねえぜ！どこ行きやがった！
お姿がありませんね。
Jessica, thinking she might be hiding somewhere inside a room, peeked behind the curtains and under the bed, but she couldn't find anyone. However, there definitely were signs that the bed had been used. And though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people like the chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in this room. But she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice. They had only been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in that portrait. I mean, technically, yes, right? Because of the outfit of Jessica. Jessica's outfit has this stripes, the purple stripes, right? But for, I mean, we can see it here. Yeah, we can see it here, right? They changed it a little bit, the outfit. Yeah, her outfit here for Beatrice is no stripes, but it's similar, very similar. Yeah, even the skirt. Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, Beatrice is very tall. I guess then the picture is just big, right? So they were doubtful about what her face really looked like. However, Kanon alone had met her. He understood what kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had. So he knew that forcing their way in here, in search of her, definitely wouldn't work out. She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at us. She's that kind of person. Because she was looking at things that way, Kanon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person, so they didn't notice. Near a water jug on the side of the table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain pen which had probably been used to write it. Kanon had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they've been overcome with rage and barged in here only to find no one, so of course the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. Okay, so what is written there? So in other words, that's what this must be. Or that's what this must be.
お嬢様、ここに何か書かれています。
書かれてるってなんだ？
Jessica dashed over and violently snatched a piece of paper. She probably wasn't trying to be violent. She just couldn't control her strength right now.
なんだと？なめやがって！
As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into wild rage. Crumpled the paper and threw it. What did it say? Wait, she broke a window with the paper? Then she grabbed a light stand by the bedside and violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls and furniture with it. The light bulbs all shattered at once and their fragments were scattered across the room.
お嬢様、気をお鎮めください。お怪我をなさいます。
離せよ！ちくしょう、ちくしょう！出てきやがれ、ベアトリーチェ！よくも父さんと母さんを！そんなに私が怖えかよ！殺してやる！殺してやる！ぶっ殺してやるから姿を現しやがれ！だから離せって言ってんだろ！く
This was written on the paper.
私がぬくぬくとここであなたが飛び込んでくるのを待ちぼうけるとでも？知的な夜に粗暴なるあなたは似合わない。こんな間抜けに育てた親はどんな顔？見たよ。本当にそっくりな間抜け面。今はお菓子の国でお腹いっぱい。
You could say that the letter was targeted to any one of the kids, I suppose, right? I mean, you could say Butler, you could say Jessica. I mean, maybe it's targeted to Butler, right? But yeah, any one of them. Butler, Jessica, George, right? You could say she was talking about parents, right? It was the sort of thing that the witch would write. It meant she predicted that one of the children who'd lost their parents would come running in here. See? If she'd hide, or she's hiding somewhere in this room, she must be rolling around laughing now. The witch was that kind of person. She sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years.
これはお渡しください。お怪我をなさいますと申し上げております。
放てって言ってんだよ。くそくそ。
Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. After all, if she kept swinging it around, she might end up smashing it against something, which could cause serious injury. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with flames of anger. But Kanon's eyes saw it differently. Those were probably tears of sadness hidden by rage. So, when the light stand was taken from Jessica, when she started crying on the floor, scratching at the carpet almost as though she was groveling, Goda was surprised, but Kanon was not. Of course, she had lost her means of crying by lashing out in rage. Considering that she was a daughter of the Shinomiya head family, she was in a very shabby state. And what can you do? Like she's a young girl basically, so yeah, she would cry like this if her parents technically died. So yeah, she's gonna cry like this. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails and even her feet were scratching. Jessica cried very, very hard. Because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again and swallow her up. But over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message. I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like.
私なんかとは違う。本当に頭が良かった。悪くなんかじゃない。取り消せ。取り消せ。
Alright, I saw them and they looked just as moronic as you. What? Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets.
殺してやる。殺してやる。野郎の腹を裂いて同じ目に遭わせてやる。
I know she's getting an asthma attack now. As Jessica cried and screamed, she triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her and rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath.
そんなことする暇があったらあいつを探せよ。探し出して私のところに連れてこい。お前らが行かないなら私が探す。そしてこの手で殺してやる。腹を引き裂いてやる。 畜生畜生
Jessica got up unsteadily and as her asthma continued, she went out into the hallway.
お嬢様、お薬を至急。
Honestly though, in this situation, I thought Gota would be acting like differently. Like he would be what do you call this? Like he would panic, I mean, right? But yeah, at least he's holding it as well, right? And sure, everyone is panicked right now, but yeah, I think he would be like much more. I don't know the word, but yeah, I didn't think Gota would be like this. I thought he was gonna be like running away, shouting at people and stuff like that, right? Because of what's happening. But yeah, at least he's a little bit composed. Yeah, a little bit composed.
南條先生をお呼びします。
郷田さん、僕に任せてくれませんか。
Kanon had noticed. Gota, who was vastly separated from her in age, probably couldn't sense the tears in Jessica's heart. Kanon, who then noticed, had to be the one to support her.
カノンさん、いいのですか。
今のお嬢様には涙を流す時間も必要なのだと思います。ご両親のあんな死に方を目の当たりにしては。
そうですね。
Gota also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Kanon had shared a vague relationship with each other. So he understood everything and left it to Kanon.
わかりました。私はローザ様のところへ戻ります。お嬢様をくれぐれもよろしくお願いしますよ。
はい、お任せを。
Kanon's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly. After looking at his eyes, Gota nodded firmly as well. Gota was a veteran with many years behind him. He'd seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possessed self-control. He had surely seen that in Kanon's eyes, so he would leave this to Kanon. When you think about it, maybe this was the first time Gota had ever trusted Kanon and relied on him for a job. I mean, yeah, right, yeah. The way he was talking there, he was like, Kanon, are you sure? He actually relied on him this time, yeah. It's unlike when they were serving the food and all that stuff, right? Remember how he was talking to Shannon there? And stuff like that, yeah. Jessica, still suffering from her asthma, seemed to be heading towards her room, though she kept leaning against the wall. Kanon followed her wordlessly. If she had asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance where he could come to her rescue at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their sides, you can bet 10 billion of them would want to turn around and find someone in place that Kanon now stood. As he watched over Jessica from behind, then finally she doubled over in front of the door to her room. The asthma attack had stolen all her strength, and her thoughts had gotten hazy from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible even to stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, Jessica would have wanted to tear it off right then. She knew how unfair that would be, so she definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica, had probably lost the will even to call for help. But Kanon heard it. He definitely heard it. Kanon definitely heard that voice's call for help, one shared by miserable grievers of the world around, and the scream that no one ever seems to hear. Kanon quietly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her a shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it, unlocked the door to her room and entered.
こちらへ。今、お薬をご用意します。
Jessica often said that when her asthma got serious enough, it hurt so bad that it felt like she'd vomit up her whole stomach. Her face was pale and her gaze wavered, and yet the coughing continued. Even so, her sadness was probably even stronger. After having her sit on the bed, Kanon took a bronchodilator from a cute little basket on the nearby side of the table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to have happened, Kanon would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit in the servant room, but he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself as though wondering how could he call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. Then he remembered the day when he'd used that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Kanon's heart, but he felt it would be indiscreet to think about something like that, considering how Jessica felt now, and he locked it up inside the depths of his heart. When she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down bit by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure. But she'd lost too much strength and willpower to get up from the bed.
大丈夫ですか、お嬢様。
私は大丈夫だぜ。父さんと母さんはダメだけど、私はもうちょっとなきゃ大丈夫だぜ。
Kanon regretted his poor choice of words. Did he really say, "Are you alright" to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made him furniture. This is why he couldn't become a human.
廊下におります。ご用がありましたら、すぐにお呼びください。
Kanon understood that she still needed some time to cry alone. He told her to call him at any time, bowed and tried to leave the room.
何か。
Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted to stop, so Kanon had stopped. If she asked it, I'll do anything I can to help her. Right now, I'd become even a cane or a chair if it would help ease the pain in her heart. If by doing that, I could make up for the pain I dealt to her heart on that day. For a while, Jessica stared into Kanon's eyes. It was as though her reason for stopping him was something she couldn't put into words. Basically, they're not saying anything to each other. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that silence with a small voice.
ごめん。なんでもないぜ。しばらく一人になりたいって。ロザおばさんに伝えてくれるかな。
一人にはしません。あなたを僕は一人にしない。だから廊下にいます。いつでも呼んでください。
For just an instant, it looked like some kind of hope had flitted into Jessica's eyes. but it was a very faint and disappeared like the first snow on the surface of a river.
ありがとな。
Thanks.
しばらくだけ。
はい。失礼します。
Kanon bowed once again and closed the door. He thought that those words of his would give her some courage, but no, it felt as though they'd actually hurt her for some reason. Why? He didn't know. Surely that was because he was furniture. That was why he couldn't grasp human sadness even now. As Kanon repeatedly questioned himself, he walked down the corridor. He felt like the window at the corridor's end was coolly calling to him.
僕はやっぱり家具でしかないのか。
It was still pouring outside, a dark, gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon surely would see the ocean and know that it was blue. Oh my god, I accidentally clicked it, sorry. How do we return? Hi, there we go. But to my eyes, even if it cleared up, I would only see gray. So there's a shortcut for that? No, for this one there was a shortcut for this. I didn't know that. Because yeah, you could see it from here and then the logs here, right? I've never clicked that button, yeah, until today. Until I can ascend the blue of the ocean, I'll be nothing but furniture imitating a person.
本当に女心のわからぬやつよ。ああいう時は黙ってそばにいるのが正解だ。だからゆえに貴様は家具なのよ。
貴様。
Oh, is she gonna appear right here? There shouldn't have been any trace of human life in this corridor. It had been an empty corridor filled with frigid air. But those scoffing words approached Kanon from behind. When he turned around, he saw the witch. The witch who hadn't shown herself when Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left that sneering letter to toy with Jessica.
女の傷つけ方は3つある。特別にわらわが教えてやろう。一つは刃物で傷つける。一つは心で傷つける。そして最後が一番難しく、一番効果的に傷つけられる。なのに意識せずして傷つけられる。わかるか？
わかるわけもないし、知りたくもない。
期待を裏切る。だ。女ほど夢見がちな生き物はいない。勝手に夢を見、勝手に傷つく。お前のような距離の男が一番女を傷つける。わかるまいな、貴様には。どれほどジェシカを傷つけてきたか、全く考えが及んでいまい。家具だから。
お前のたわごとに付き合う気は毛頭ない。僕を嘲笑うためだけに姿を現したというのか。
うぬぼれるな家具。貴様ごとき嘲笑うにも足りぬわ。しかしそなたも一人ではそれに値しなくても二人揃えば十分に足りる。若々しき男女の悲運を笑う喜びは何度繰り返しても飽きぬのでな。
なんだと。まさか貴様、お嬢様を。
Oh my.
第二の番の生贄に寄り添う二人が必要なのでな。
I need the two who are close for the sacrifices of the Second Twilight. Yes, it's gonna be him and Jessica. Look at his face.
お前たち二人は実に都合が良い。
Honestly, it's so nice that they had art like this, right? In Higurashi, whenever you're seeing other people in a creepy state, right? The eyes change a little bit. Yeah, the eyes change, but that's basically it, right? For this one, a lot of emotions, a lot of different faces from the different characters. It may be crying, it may be smiling, a lot of different stuff. And then you look at Beatrice here, look at that face. Creepy, scary face.
待て、勘違いするな。僕はお嬢様とそういう関係じゃない。第二の番の生贄にはならない。
だからお前はジェシカを傷つける。だからお前は人間になれぬ。ならばよいだろう。貴様がジェシカを思い人と認めぬならば、それを受け入れてもよい。だがジェシカは殺す。
なぜ？
このバカが決まっておろうが。殺したらそなたが歪めるだろう。その表情が楽しいからの他に何の理由が必要なのか。
Oh my god.
儀式に従い、わらわは気まぐれに13人を生贄とする。だがそれ以上殺してはならないとの決まりはない。
Following the rules, 13 people will be sacrificed. However, there is no rule that says I can't kill more. I mean...
わらわが楽しければ幾人でも殺す。だから殺す。わらわを思いっきり笑わせてみせろよ。カグ、カノン。
When he blinked and looked down the corridor, the witch who had supposedly been there nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there, all alone in the corridor, doing nothing. And the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious that he should do, or what she should do. It wasn't logical. It was an electric reflex. Without a trace of hesitation or distraction. There was a person he wanted to protect, and she was asking for help. And at that moment, he was genuinely wanted that person by her side to be him. When he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced almost as though gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it. I've seen the spectacle before. This isn't the gold leaf. It's countless golden butterflies, Beatrice's minions. Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies, waving her hands around, trying frantically to drive them away. I mean, Jessica is confused right now, yeah. She's like, what are these butterflies? What are they doing here?
お嬢様。
Kanon rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed the cloud of butterflies away. So we're actually seeing now how Beatrice does things, right? I suppose. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face, trying to crawl into her mouth and nose. My god. Jessica choked violently, almost as though the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. But when Kanon ran towards her, the butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo around the pair.
カノ君カノ君
大丈夫。僕の目の黒いうちはあなたに誰の指一本触れさせたりするものか。出てこいベアトリーチェ。これで満足か。
As he stood guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler and seemed to be in pain, Kanon yelled into the empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. Then she showed herself. It wasn't a response to Kanon's demand. It was obviously because appearing and sneering would bring them even more humiliation, and plus, it was more fun.
これで全ては筋書き通りよ。今やそなたは訴状の恋よな。いや、二人が揃ったのだからカモとネギと呼ぶべきか。
お前ベアトリーチェ。
お下がりください。お嬢様は僕が守る。
姫に騎士が揃わば魔女が現れるのは必然よ。どれ金蔵の家具がどの程度の力を持つか見せてもらおうではないか。
She snapped her fingers with a piercing sound. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up and they began to form a small mountain as they whirled around in a circle. It was just like the swirling of a cold wintry wind that builds up a mountain of leaves. What is that? From the mound of gold, a hand sprouted and it appeared as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground.
何これ。なんだよこれ。
Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right now, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. What is that? It was the bite of wisdom seen in those trying to understand something incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. Sorry. Dude, what is this? Oh my, what is happening now? The thing crawling up was probably an attendant who served the witch. This is literally a goat. What is this? A goat in a suit. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served, but its face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with a pitch black hair, breathed a rotten breath, and its eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And to symbolize its non-human status, it had two horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch. By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say. All this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense, and she couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica hadn't realized. She hadn't realized that his island had already been cut off from the rules of our world. But there were some things that even she could understand. This goat attendant served the witch and was after her life. And apparently the witch had already given it in the order. Or in the order. She was looking at Kanon with an expectant gaze. as though asking him how he intended to protect his maiden. Though the attendant had looked especially bestial while crawling to its feet, you could see in the way it carried itself that it possessed more than enough grace to be worthy of serving the Golden Witch. And you could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture, wanting to meet its master's expectation.
見せてもらおうではないか。
So are you saying that this is Beatrice's furniture? This thing is huge, man.
金蔵の家具の力を。
Kinzo's furniture. So the reason Kanon, Shannon, Genji were calling themselves furniture is because, what, you're telling me that they were summoned like this goat man by Kinzo? Is that it? Okay, I guess for now.
今度は間違えるな。家具であることを忘れるな。この後に及んで人間のふりを続けるのなら、死ぬのはお前だけでは済まぬぞ。
The goat attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at its master? Or was it offered to Kanon, its opponent? Then on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared. Oh!
なんだよそれ。
Jessica had unable to understand what was happening. Jessica, I am the same as you. I don't know what the hell is happening right now. Okay? All she understood was that this glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life. And right now, that was enough. Kanon spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back.
お嬢様、壁に下がっていてください。背中は決して壁から離さないように。
姫君はおとなしく騎士殿の背中に隠れているがいい。自らの命を男に守らせる醍醐味でも存分に味わえばよい。さあカノン、お前の刃を見せてみよ。
Do it. Oh my god. This is insane, honestly. So, I guess I've watched the Fate series, right? I mean, it's like Fate is technically not like this. What I'm saying is, because yeah, suddenly there's magic, right? Like, what? What is happening right now? Yeah, like in Fate, like they could have made a series with the Fate characters, right? Just like slice of life, normal stuff, right? But then you have magic there, and now there is magic here for some reason. And look at this, Kanon has a blade now. I don't know what's happening.
美しい。金蔵は家具を生み出すことに関してだけはわらわの足元に及ぶやもしれぬ。
こんなものバラの手入れにも使えない。
カノン君、それは。
見せたくなかった。
But I remember what Kyrie, was it Kyrie or was it Ava? Basically she said that yeah, no matter what as shown to us in Rokinjima, it can't be accepted as the truth, right? So is what happening right now, is it really real? I don't know. But yeah, it's getting insane right now. We're seeing magic stuff, blades, glowing blades, a goat man. I mean, we've seen Beatrice with magic, but this is next level stuff. Yes.
よくぞ抜いたぞ。
I never expected it. Expected that, I mean, in this game. Or in this series, I mean. Like, yeah, maybe for Beatrice only, but seeing this. It's different.
思いを寄せる女の前で己が人間以下の存在であることを晒した気分はどんなものよ。
黙れ。
憤怒で己を焦がしているくせに冷静を装うか。なるほど。真に熱き炎は青く静かだという。今のそなたがそうだというのか。
僕の力でお前を殺すことなどできるわけもない。お前は月。石つぶてを投げたとて月を砕くことなどできるわけもない。だがお前は権限するために水面にその姿を映す。水面に石つぶてを投じれば一時月を乱すこともできるかもしれない。しかし月を砕くことなど至らない。だから僕はこの命尽きるまでお前の映る水面を叩き続けてやる。
気に入ったぞカノン。始めろカグども。
Here we go. Battle.
Ho.
Did Kanon win?
美しい奇跡だ。
The witch's words of admiration broke the silence, and just for an instant, they broke Jessica's paralysis. Jessica, yeah. She probably can't believe what is happening right now, right? I mean, I can't believe what is happening right now.
来い魔女のかぐめ。元来た地獄へ叩き落としてやる。
That is scary. Yeah.
Run!
That big boy ain't even moving though. Can Shannon also do this? Can she use blade? A strand of red had been left on Kanon's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly.
勘が戻らぬことを言い訳につぶやいてもよいぞ。
カノン君、しっかり。
大丈夫。僕はまだ死なない。
The curve drawn by the goat's attendant's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Kanon wasn't there. He was behind it. Where? Oh,
先に帰りて。主の帰りを待つがいい。
so Kanon could also do that and he could just teleport like that?
行け。
Bye bye, Mr. Goat. I can't believe this, I'm not gonna lie. If this battle's drawing sparkling curves was chess, then Kanon coming from behind was check. And press and press and press and press. Use 7 moves and make it mate. make it mate. Perhaps the goat attendant hadn't even granted the ability to go into death throes. As its knees buckled and it fell over, it broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a pop. So there was no sound of it hitting the ground. Even those unable to understand this battle would surely realize that Cannon had been magnificent.
ハンドメイドには勝てぬか。そこまで見下げたものではないらしい。
次はお前だ、ベアトリーチェ。
The instant Cannon's blade sliced diagonally through the witch's form like a knife through butter, she turned gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and for just an instant, the room was filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Cannon himself had said. Slicing Beatrice was just the same as slicing the surface of the water where the moon was reflected. The witch's form, with an ordinary expression on its face, as though she'd been there the whole time, was right behind Cannon.
十分に面白い見せ物であったぞ。それに免じ見逃してやろうかと思ったが、今の無礼で気が変わった。
嘘をつくな。お前にお嬢様を殺させはしない。たとえそれが無理でも僕より先に殺させはしない。
お前にはそれすらできぬわ。喋るな家具が、無口であれ家具が、身の程を知れ家具が。
カノン君は家具なんかじゃない。
ほう、なぜそう言えるのか。
理由なんかいらない。カノン君はカノン君だよ。本当の名前は別にあるけれど、それでも名前は家具じゃない。カノン君にはカノン君の生き方がある。それはとても高潔なもので、自らが決めるもの。家具だから意見しちゃいけないとか、家具だから自分の人生を持っちゃいけないとか、そんなのないよ。
お嬢様、あいつを挑発してはいけません。
はっきり言っておくぜ。カノン君は家具じゃない。人間だよ。どうして？カノン君は自分の意志で私を助けに駆けつけてくれた。そして恐ろしい魔女であるあんたの前に立ちはだかってくれた。私を見捨てることなんていくらでもできただろうに、そうしなかった。自己犠牲は人間だけが持つ高潔な精神だ。だからカノン君は人間なんだ。だから訂正しろ。カノン君を家具だなんて呼ぶな、二度と。
お嬢様。
語るな人間が。とっとと終わらせよう。何しろまだまだ第二の番。互いの尊厳を認め合う寄り添いし二人を今こそ生贄に捧げよ。さあさあおいでなさい。罪を許しなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ。色欲。
The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face. Oh,
色欲のアスモデウス。
oh, Asmodeus. Isn't this one of the... what do you call that? In the ending, right? Of episode 1, there were names there of, I guess, the stakes, I guess? Stake of Asmodeus, or yeah, something like that. There was also Mammon. Was it there Satan as well? But yeah, these were the ones who were using the stakes in episode 1. Is that what you're saying? These, what do you call this? A furniture, or her furniture.
ここに。
茶番は飽きた。
Asmodeus of Lust. Dude, we got a different character now. My god.
第二の番を速やかに遂行せよ。わらわに瞬きを3つも許すな。
仰せのままに。
また妙なのが出やがったぜ。
Another weirdo shown up. It took Kanon less than an instant to understand. That goat face from a second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value.
素敵な獲物に恵まれるなんて、なんて幸運なのかしら。怯えてる？かわいい。
来い。魔女の家具。お前には殺されない。
私の姿を追うこともできないノロマのくせに生きがって行くわよ。
Okay, this is gonna be hilarious, honestly. Like, we see Asmodeus like this. I wonder what the personality of the different, what do you call it? This, let's say the stakes, right? The demons, I guess. The furniture of Beatrice is gonna be.
ね
Okay.
えねえ、どこがいい？
I could look at this. What?
どこを貫いてほしい？お答えなさいよ、かわいい子。
Cutie?
あなたの好きなところを思いっきり貫いてあげる。さあさあ、お答えなさいよ、かわいい子。
僕を可愛いと言うな。
Yeah, Kanon is gonna die now, both of them, for sure.
行くわよ、ノルマ。さあ追ってごらん、その節穴で。
Oh my god. Oh, they're fighting. It's over. Kanon has died, for sure. Oh, no. Jessica.
お嬢様。
目では追えなかったけどよ。
I guess Kanon was gonna get stabbed, or yeah, something like that. But Jessica, she stopped it.
読みは当てたぜ。ざまあ見やがれ。
Kanon's back had been the target, but Jessica had predicted it. She predicted that the witch's target would be the complete opposite of fair and honest, his back. But she had no way to block it. She hadn't planned on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Kanon's back. So she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed its form into a demon stake, was buried deep into Jessica's back. It was an obviously fatal wound that reached as far as her lungs. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh. because it had hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch had predicted.
どうしたカノン？ジェシカお嬢様はお前より先には殺されなかったんじゃないのか？そうそう、それその顔よ。お前のその顔が見たかった。
God damn, Beatrice, man. She's dead and you're mocking them still.
楽しんだ、実に十分。もうよい、死ね笑わせろ。さあさあおいでなさい。罪を許しなさい。煉獄の七杭が一つ。憤怒。
Wait, another one. Wrath.
憤怒のサタン。
Wait, they look the same though. They kind of look the same, right?
ここに。
その獲物はお前のものだ。
Could we actually see them in the characters? Are they here? Characters. They're not here. They're not here.
今すぐ食らってこやつの舞台に幕を下ろしてやれ。
But I like how their uniforms are basically, yeah, like academy uniforms, right? They're like high schoolers, yeah. Technically.
人ならば交番とも言おうが、家具のお前の場合は大道具係が舞台裏に運び出すといったところか。
僕はもう家具じゃない。そしてそれを二度と疑わない。
なーに？あんたまた私に殺されちゃうの？あんたの胸温かくて本当に貫くと気持ちがいいのよ。さあまた味合わせて。あなたの温かい胸の中で熱い熱い血潮で私を思いっきり気持ちよくしてね。
There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker filled the entire room, and before he could blink, it was already right in the center of his chest again. Just like in episode 1, right? In his chest. When you take a piece in chess, the rules say that it's impossible for your opponent's piece to defend itself. So this was an obvious result in accordance with the rules. Kanon landed on his knees, and he apologized. Not to the witch, but yeah, to my lady. And wait, and not to my lady? Okay, I thought it would say to Jessica. He apologized to Jessica. He was not calling her my lady anymore. Jessica now. Just Jessica.
ごめん。守りきれなかった。
Dude, it is so sad.
気にしないで。かっこよかったよ。
Kanon finally fell over. He landed next to Jessica, and the two lay there like the constellation Gemini.
カノン君はさ、もう家具じゃないよ。
はい。それに気づくのが遅すぎた。
君の本当の名前聞きたかった。
Okay, will we know his real name before it ends?
僕の本当の 名前は
In his last moments, Canon wanted to tell her his real name, but Jessica had already fallen into sleep. She died already. That's so sad, man. From which she would never wake. So Canon's real name, which he had protected until today, in the end, he couldn't tell it to Jessica.
僕は人間にな
Those were the last words that Kanon left behind. The day I became a human. I cannot wait until Butler wins and destroys you.
笑わせるな家具が。100年を経ようと家具は家具よ。捨てる時に家具のために墓穴を掘るバカがどこにいる？家具は叩き割って薪にして、後には灰しか残らぬわ。そういうことよ。家具に刻める墓碑などない。貴様は死ねばこれ以上の屈辱を受けることがないと信じてるようだが、それは甘いぞ。死者を恥ずかしめるというのがどういうものか、わらわが教えてやろうぞ。
After taking a puff from her pipe, the witch's breathed the smoke at Kanon's corpse. So, what happens? When she did it, Kanon's corpse softly floated up into the air and disappeared as though it had been eaten by a moth in empty space. So this Beatrice, man, she even took the body so no one would find it. The witch played dirty until the very end. Yeah, true though, yeah. She didn't even leave the body for people to find out that he's gone, right? Will he take Jessica's as well? The corpse of the pair, who managed to understand each other in the end, were not even permitted to be close. If someone had been watching, they would probably say mournfully, "So this is what you meant by disgracing the dead." However, Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason for that would soon become apparent. Okay. Wait, did the clock go back?
そうか。
Okay, dude, your relatives, your kin, they're dying one by one and you're staying here just saying Soka. But dude, insane. What is happening right now, right? Wait, why are they not dead here though? It did not change. Look at this. Kanon. It did not change. Maybe later, right? Okay. But dude, first time seeing a goat man, and then we saw, I guess, the stakes, right? Satan and what was the other one? Asmodeus, right? Damn. So I guess now we understand why Kanon, Shannon, and Genji are always calling themselves furniture, right? Because I guess technically they were summoned by Kinzo, I suppose, right? I mean, you saw the furniture of Beatrice, right? They have emotions, all that shebang, right? All that stuff. So I guess that's why they're saying that, right? Okay. Okay. No, it's just overwhelming, the amount of stuff we saw in this episode. Yeah, I don't know what to think anymore. Let's just. I guess we'll just see what happens next time. Yeah, imagine this. Like, show what can Shannon do now, right? No, like you saw Cannon fight right with a sword. I guess magical blade there, right? And then what can Shannon do? I guess for Shannon, we're gonna see magic scenes as well for sure, right? There's gonna be a time when she's gonna be protecting most likely George, right? Yes. Okay, we will just see. So yeah, we are gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry, episode 2 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.